All right, welcome to Look and See Outdoors. We're out here hiking. We're in North Carolina. We've come up to the road to nowhere. And this is our, hey everybody, y'all say hey to the camera. Hey.
Dad, look at this footprint.
All right, well, we're on the Penhoti Trail, which we came up from the road to nowhere. Went through the tunnel, now we're just out here on one of the little trails.
Who are you talking to?
Talking to the camera. See right here, Zane? Look. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to my... Did that scare you, Zane? Brent, you scared Zane. Didn't you just burp?
You sound like a pig. Like a hog.
So we got a crew with us today. And we're out here just enjoying these mountains. Beautiful scenery. Elevation difference here than Pine Mountain is 3 to 4 times higher. We're staying in Bryson City, and there in Bryson City it is 1,700 feet above sea level, and that's down from the mountain. So just beautiful. Everything's still nice and green. And there are signs of warning about bears. It would be cool to see a bear, but we have not seen a bear. Probably our group's going to be a little too loud to see a bear. But other than that, this is a nice trail. I believe horses are allowed on this trail. The Benton Trail, I think, is about 300 to 400 miles in length. It's a big loop. And I've been on parts, so this is a part I haven't been on. I haven't been up in this area to where the road to nowhere is. Was reading about it, and it was a road they were going to put in for some people that was displaced when Fontana Lake was put in. They put that dam and it backed the water up, and people had to move out. And they were going to put the road in for those people as a trade of having them to move out, I think, to get into the village, their houses and stuff and graveyards. So they got about 6 miles of the road with the tunnel, and then they stopped, said it was environmental reasons. The road never was completed, and I think in 2010 or 12, the government wound up paying people of Swain County $52 million to reach their agreement. So the road, this is it.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've come to a little stopping point, and this would be a magnificent place to come and do some overnight. Look at that draw up through there. And we're going to be heading back. I'm going to get some footage when we get closer to the tunnel. That tunnel, it is a cool thing to walk through. It's almost kind of like it's got this illusion of as you're walking through, it's like the other end just keeps moving further away from you. And that is cool. So we're up here in the North Carolina mountains. Man, this is such a beautiful place. One of my favorite places to visit is Western North Carolina. I could move up here and definitely live. The weather has been so nice this week. We had some rain and the temps are cool. The humidity is not too bad. In the mornings when I get up, you almost could use a sweatshirt when you go outside. And I'll get some footage of the cabin we're staying in there in Deep Creek. It's pretty neat history all up in that area. Horse Keppert, that's where he lived. And he would venture, I guess on these trails they allow horses, because we've been seeing the manure from them. So I know on parts of the Benton Mackay, I always say McKay, but I hear people say Mackay. There's, pack animals are allowed, and horseback riding is allowed. So I assume on this trail, and it's cleared to where you could ride a horse and stuff not knocking you in the face. But it'd be a scary place to be riding in a horse spook and you wind up down there. So we're heading back now. So closer we get to the tunnel, I'll share that with everyone. Part was coming in on my son. This was an interesting print mark or something dug. These are like some eggs here, but that almost looks like a footprint. Heel, toes. That would have been weird coming up through there, but it's just that one impression. There's a lot of stories about Bigfoot up in this area for sure. All throughout North Carolina, Tennessee, and Smoky Mountains. The feral people, that's where I saw, we were in the Smokies when I saw the barefoot human tracks in the snow that one morning as we were hiking out from a shelter. And we were 2 nights in on that section in a very remote area, so it'd be cool to see something. But that's the only evidence of something that makes me think, what's out here? All right, well, we're coming up to where the trail splits. Benton McKay. And we are not far along. We'll be back to the tunnel. It is so quiet up in here. You just don't hear any traffic other than the people in our group. And I haven't been, and we're not that far really from civilization. But it's just something different about getting into the Appalachian Mountains. And that quietness that takes over, the hum of the grid. And I'm hearing a jet now, but I've been in places hiking up on the Appalachian Trail and just hearing the wind, and it was just, man, it was something else. You just don't hear it like that on a normal basis. There is a whistle. I guess it's some kind of a bird. We heard it when it was coming in, and I'm hearing it again now. And then when I stop, I don't hear it. We're almost to the tunnel. The tunnel is right there. Walk. I bet that whistle will happen. There in the tunnel. This is a cool place. I've been wanting to come to do this hike there, and there's so many trails in here, and we just didn't have time. And there's that whistle. I don't know if it picked up. I think it's some kind of a bird, maybe a tanager or something. Yellow jacket nest right over there. But here we are, coming back to the top end of the tunnel on the road to nowhere. Sad that people come up here and do graffiti. Hearing that whistle again. There it goes. One of my buddies that's from Adam, he was telling me certain times you can come out here and there's old Model Ts and stuff pushed off down these ravines from the bootlegging days. I can imagine that was some wild. That's got to be some kind of a bird whistling. But here we are, we're entering into the tunnel. Whistling keeps catching my attention. Well, I think we had some bear poop back there. I didn't think to record it, but I did take a picture. But here we are. Woo! This is such a cool experience. This is fun. I think these rocks were quarried not far from in here. I know there were some terraces back right over in there. It's amazing the work. This was done in the early 1940s. Somebody getting loud. So we're in the tunnel now, as you can tell. I'm not sure But Adam was telling me that some of the movie The Road was filmed here. And y'all not seen that movie. It's a good movie. It's a horrifying movie of an apocalypse. But I'm getting into a hole. So we're going through the tunnel. Ow. All right, so we're almost out to the other end. The lie detected in the tunnel. You got it, baby? My wife is back there. Silas is up on top of the bridge tunnel. Silas climbing up on top of this darn tunnel. Spider-Man. Well, I saw y'all pointing. So we're coming to the end. Back towards the parking lot. Gotta get my son on top of the tunnel. Alright, well we made it through the tunnel on the road to nowhere. A broken promise. The local people here in Swain County, that's what they named it. And right down ahead of us is the parking area.
I think I'm gonna do it.
Hey Brent, say hello. This is Brent, this is one of my friends.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Where's the baby at, Zane?
Oh no, baby.
So that was our hike for today. We're gonna get into some trouble probably later on, right Brent?
Yeah, guys, it's gonna end where my life goes. The road to nowhere.
The road to nowhere. This is Brent's life theme, the road to nowhere. All right. May do a little more video in here in just a little bit. We'll see. All right, this video, once I get it put together, is going to be interesting. Because the last footage I was making, I was in North Carolina. I'm back in Alabama now. And I'm on the Penhoti Trail. I'm with one of my friends, Brandon, and his oldest son, who has just recently had a birthday. I believe his birthday was just recently, and he's 5. So wanted to bring him out on an overnight. I was on this trail back in 2021 when I got real sick after I got home from this hike and had COVID. So we're hiking in about 1.5 miles to shelter to spend the night. All right, so we're heading down into this low area. I forgot the name of the creek. I thought it was Hatchet Creek, but I think it's Gufka Creek. But there's a shelter down there that we're working our way to. And I'm going to tell you something. It is hot here. Alabama has some of the hottest temperatures with the humidity. But we're going to do an overnight. It'll be cool. Not cool as in temps, but cool as in fun. A little bit of a horseshoe, and then the trail goes over there. I think it drops down on that other end. We've been gradually dropping down into this bottom here. Had a real beautiful overlook. And you can see the creek. Gufka. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Picked up some fat lighter for the fire we're going to have hopefully here in just a little while. Last time I was through here, this was kind of more wet. I mentioned earlier, this back in 2021, we were trying to do a couple of sections. I think it was going to be about 40 miles total. We wound up doing 25. It was just so hot. Being out here in this heat is not really fun, but we're going to make it fun. Cooler temps are better, no doubt. Colder temperatures are even the best to me. You don't have to worry about the snakes or bugs at all, really. So, hopefully here in just a few more minutes we're going to be down at the shelter. I'm making a little video. We got a nice little small campfire over there in that bundle of rocks. There's a yellowjacket nest, so we improvised. And behind me, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the shelter here on Weagufka Creek. I've been saying it wrong. I think it's actually called Weagufka. So we're hunkering in tonight, and in the morning we're going to get out. Man, it's so hot and humid. But the temps have dropped a little bit. It's a little cooler. My shamog is wet from just trying to stay dry. I'm just sitting here just pouring sweat. Summertime camping for you. But we're having a good time. Alright, it is the next morning down here by the creek. This is Weagufka Creek, if I'm saying that properly. And back up behind me is the shelter we stayed in. Temps got a little better last night, even though it was hot. My shirt's still wet from yesterday, having some coffee. My mug my brother got for me. This creek right here reminds me of North Georgia, western North Carolina. But we're about to get ready and hike out of here. My phone don't have much power, so I'm not gonna be able to do much on videos. Have to catch up with that later when I can get some charge to the phone. But I'm gonna get up here and we'll see the shelter real quick. Alright, this is the shelter. We're about 3 miles from the southern terminus on the Penhoti Trail. This is the first shelter you come to. Here's the view from the shelter. And here's inside the shelter. This is where we slept. Wasn't too bad. Looking forward to getting back up here when it's cooler temps. Well, I'm finally back home. I'm eating a nice, delicious peach. Ooh, that hike is always, for some reason, when we've hiked the Penhoti Trail, we've done it in the summertime. And that is a tough time to be on that trail. I'm here at the shelter now. I gotta go in and get a shower. We sweated last night when we got into camp. We were soaking wet. It finally cooled off a little bit. And it was actually comfortable throughout the night. The shelter caught a nice breeze this morning when we got back. It's only about 1.5 miles from where we parked. Brandon had his 5-year-old with him, so we didn't want to do too much. And he did excellent, by the way. Peaches are so good. But Roland did real well. We need to get back in there, in that area, when it's cool, or actually cold weather. Because it's almost like a death march. I think we earn a patch or something on that one. But I'm going to go on and finish this video up. Got to work on it, getting it together. Hope this video will be an enjoyment. It's going to have North Carolina hiking and Alabama hiking in it. And I noticed when I was looking at some of the videos, there's a noise. I had to get a new phone case. And I don't know, when I move it, it makes this noise at the speaker. So it may be something with the new phone case. But also, I got a thing I'm going to do with a stick. This is a walking stick that I've had for a while. It's dogwood. And over the past few years, see the wood booger there? Got to finish him up. There's another one right there. I've been collecting medallions, and I started finding a lot of different little Bigfoot medallions. And with this particular stick, I'm going to put just my Bigfoot medallions on it. But I got to put a little ferrule down at the bottom, a little copper piece that I do. And I'm going to sand it down more, and then I'm going to put some coating of linseed oil on it. I always like doing that. But I took this stick with me on our hike, so I broke it in. Got some cool character. Look at that. And then those wood boogers. I had forgotten I did some wood boogers on it. And that was pretty cool looking at it. So I'll get that done. That's going to be my Bigfoot stick. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. It's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. Because last week we were in North Carolina and we did the road to nowhere, and we did a little hike on the Benton MacKay. I say Benton MacKay, and I'm going to say Benton MacKay. That's how it looks like it needs to be pronounced. But there were so many trail systems in there. You could go in there and backcountry camping for sure. And that all ties into the Appalachian Trail also. Ooh, I'm ready to get cleaned up. Finally dried out a little bit. I'm glad I took this shirt. Ooh. But I'm ready for some cooler weather, guys. I hope y'all enjoy. This is going to be July's series on hiking. And right here at the end of July, coming up onto August. And we're going to be planning another trip up to Pine Mountain and do a different loop up there. Hopefully we can get some of the guys together and we do a new loop up there and share some ideas on hiking, on being in the woods. Share, I didn't, on these two past videos, share anything about the equipment. This past trip to the Penhoti Trail, I had my Pathfinder pack with me, and I love that pack. That is a real good pack. I think I've done some past videos on it, but I'll discuss it some more. But on our through hike in October, I've got a brand new pack that I've not used. I told everyone that I got it for Father's Day in 2021, and not long after that I got severely sick with pneumonia, and I was in the hospital for 9 days, ICU for 7 of those days. It was a rough run. But here I am today, and hopefully I'll get to use that Osprey pack before too long. Get it set up and get it rolling. Alright guys, I hope y'all enjoy this video. Y'all hit that like button, and as always, please feel free to leave a comment. And I'll see y'all later. Take care.